Okay, so first, let's go with the head. Okay, so what are the characteristics of the muscles of the face and the head? Anyone knows?
Yeah, short.
Okay, short. Anything else?
They contract.
Every muscle has to contract, right?
Facial expression.
Yeah, good one. Good one, Cows. So it has to express your feelings, express your emotions, right? Because why? It attached, usually the muscle attached from the bones, right? But however, the difference here is that it does not attach to another bones. It's attached to the skin of the face.
Yeah.
So when it's contract, it will drag the skin, and hence it will show your emotion. Happy?
Sad.
Sad.
Angry.
Angry, right? Or piercing. So this is the muscle of the face, right? And we also have, on the head, we also have other muscles. So what do you usually do when you eat the food?
Chew.
Yeah, we have the muscles that help us to
Masseter.
chew.
Masseter.
The mainly is masseter. We also have all the muscles.
Temporal.
Yeah, we have this muscles here. It's called the temporal muscles.
What do we do with the temporal muscle?
So you see where it's attached to? Here, right? On this bone is called the temporal bones. Yeah, so you can see it attached from here, the skull, with the bone called the temporal bones, and also some other bones of the skull, and it's attached to here. Which bone is this? Right? It will pull the mandible back, means to retract the mandible, and so it has to close the gap between the jaw. Okay, so that is some muscles at the head. How about the neck? Do you guys know any muscles of the neck? So in order to reach that muscles, we have to go through this superficial muscles. Yeah. It's called the platysma. It's a muscles that attach to the skin of the neck. Okay, so let's delete it away. And here, can anyone tells me where is the sternocleidomastoid?
Big one.
The big one.
Oops.
Yeah, because we just only reached the fascia, right? So can you point it out again?
Yes, sir.
So why is it called sternocleidomastoid?
Clavicle, sternum.
Yeah, it's named after the attachment, where it's attached to, right? So it's attached from the sternum,
Mastoid
the
process.
clavicle. Yeah, you see this bone, right? You see this bone? Yeah, this structure looks like a key, and the key in Latin means clavis. So that's why it's called clavicle. And hence the name of the muscles, clado. Clados mean the key. Yeah, mastoid process. Do you know why is it called mastoid process? Because when we dissect and we take out this bone, this particular part, it looks like a thing to store the water. And in ancient Greek, that thing is called mastos, M-A-S-T-O-S, mastos. Yeah. So if you see it here, let's try to say ah, and then close your mouth. You see anything that is surfing under your fingers? So that is not the mastoid process. It's something else.
It's behind the ear.
Yeah, it's behind the ear.
Yeah.
The thing that just slip under your fingers is this structure, the mandible. When the medical student comes to study anatomy, the first thing they have to face is that the numbers, the terminology. In general, there are about 6,000 words that they have to study in just a few times, just a little time. Memorize those 6,000 words is already a challenge. In addition, it's not only about memorizing, but they have to understand every single meanings of the terms. So that it can help them to understand about the pathology and understand about the mechanism of the disease when they goes to the hospital. Another things they have to face when the students study anatomy is that they have to understand the reason why they have to study about the structure. Like what is this importance when it comes to the clinical correlations? So that is the second challenge that student has to face. Okay, the first thing that the Pirogov tables provide visualizations for not only the student but also the teachers, because studying anatomy is not only about remembering the name, but also the student has to know what it is, and I will be able to visualize about the structure of the human body. So Pirogov tables help the student to see what are the structure, and also another thing the Pirogov is doing very well is that it provides the information for the student to study. When they click or they touch on a structure, it will reveal what are the related informations, for example, about the muscles, where does it attach to, where is its insertion, and what are the nerves that innervates them, the blood supply, and so on. Another thing is that the Pirogov table now has the functions that has to bridge the gap between the basic science, anatomy, and the clinical science, because it's integrate between the anatomy and all the clinical disciplines. For example, the radiology and pathology. This is really helping students that they will understand why they have to study anatomy.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay, so my name is Patience Adesamenu. I'm a first-year nursing student at VinUniversity. So I'm from Nigeria. So I really like working with this interface because it allows you to get a clearer view of the organs in the body, the tissues. And for example, I'm a visual learner, so whenever I study from the slides, I always like to come here and try to see it firsthand, to see the size, the way it works. So it's really interactive, which makes the knowledge sticks to our brain more. And I must say it's very easy to use. All you need to do is just drag and you'll be able to see. You can zoom in, you can zoom out, you can even change the model, and that makes it very fun and interactive.